What is going on, everyone? This topic has been trending ever since the video came out. JJ Watt letting D'Amico Ryans know, if you absolutely need me, I will be there. I am joined by my boy Caleb. You've seen him on the streams. You can follow him on Twitter at Texans Heat. It's exactly like how it's spelled right there in that white little box. Caleb, what is going on, brother? And welcome to the 713 Houston Sports.
This is my first time in a vid. Not as Caleb, as my new handler. I'm just ready to start something new, I guess, What's up?
So let's go ahead and play the video because this has gone viral since going out. As we all know, JJ Watt does his annual softball charity classic game and had a meeting, not a meeting, but like a media session with everyone. And Aaron Wilson, who does a great job covering the team, asked him about potentially playing again. And here's what happened.
I told D'Amico last year, I said, don't call unless you absolutely need it, but if you ever do call, I'll be there. But he knows not to call unless he absolutely needs it. This is the last year I'll tell him that because I'm not going to keep training the way I've been training, but he knows that if he ever truly does need it, I'll be there for him. But I don't anticipate that happening. They got very. I told
So when you hear that, Caleb, and when you know that the rumblings of last year during the season, him being on the Pat McAfee show, him talking about being in practices, being in the weight room, working out after with young D linemen like Will Anderson Jr. And now we're here just a couple of months later, and he is basically telling the team, I am ready for one last hurrah. What do you think
Right.
about that, man?
Uh, I would say on the percentile, we're looking at like 82%. Uh, just like last year, we had the thoughts, if we make it to the playoffs, he's gonna get called. We didn't get that call. He's still asking out, lashing out for that last call, that last contract to to then just blow up in more hype than ever. I think it's gonna happen. We didn't give Danielle Hunter that 99 for a reason.
Mm.
Um, it's something that's been in the woodworks, and since he's a retired player, it's not any, what's the word I'm looking for? Tampering. Nothing
Mm.
to do with that. They could talk to him all off season, before the draft, before uh, off season signees, all of that. So I think it's gonna happen, man. Just having a three tech like him, even someone that can line up over the center, it's just gonna be phenomenal. Honestly, it really is.
The only way I see it happening, and this is where I put like what really might happen into perspective, right? If let's say the Houston Texans, they find themselves last month of the season, they are fighting for the number one seed. They are one of the best teams in the NFL, one of the best offensive defense in the NFL. Everything's going right for us.
Right.
That's when I think the Houston Texans potentially make that call. I don't want to see JJ Watt in a I need to save the Houston Texans situation because that's what it would have been last year, right? We had Will Anderson go down with the ankle. We had Jonathan Grenard miss multiple games, throughout the season. Last year, you would have needed JJ Watt to play significant time for you. And I
Correct.
think if that's the case this year, then it doesn't happen. It would pain me, bro, to see JJ Watt injured, and this would be it. This would be the last time
Right.
we see JJ Watt, and that's him getting carted off. I think the only way we see him back is we're the number one or number two seed. We really don't need him, but he's gonna be that last jolt of energy that the city and team needs. And honestly, man, just be a third down situational pass rusher, dude. I'm not asking for the 5-time All Pro. I'm just asking, give me something on third downs. You had 12 sacks your final year in Arizona. There has to be something left in Mr.
Yeah.
JJ Watt, but I just don't think it will be in a I need to save the Texan season, like he said. Unless you absolutely need me, then I'll be there.
I say once the schedule drops, we see where our bye week's at. To potentially get him just on the books by the bye week, if that's as late as week 9, week 12, week 10, whatever. You only have what 8 more weeks until the playoffs, if that's the case, if that's where the off season is going to start for us. We don't want it to start at the end of the season. We want it to be, in football terms, week 24, right after the Super Bowl is when our off season will start. So having someone like JJ to be our last hurrah, it's gonna lighten the fans when we're at the stadium. It's gonna be amazing, and him in those new uniforms. Oh my goodness! Just seeing JJ in the old uniforms, just like Miko said. Um, I think Hannah also said, or Cal said it. One of them said that this will be the first team in a new uniform for the Houston Texans. It would be this team coming into 2024 season, and having JJ a part of that team just sauces up everything. It really makes the morale go high for sure. I think it's gonna happen, man. We said it last year. We thought it was gonna happen. It didn't. But why would he want a second opportunity? You know?
Yeah, I always said that if we would have won that game last year against the Jacksonville Jaguars, then I think JJ Watt would have signed. Unfortunately, we know how that game ended. This season, man, it kind of, him saying that, not only is he like telling him, "Hey, call me if you need me," but hey, like, I do
I'm here.
it's like I am here. So I ask you, like, does that put, because 6'10 John Lopez was talking about it this morning, does this put pressure on D'Amico Ryans in the front offense of, yeah, I might have to bring JJ Watt back just for the vibes and just for the energy of what it could do. Like you said, new uniforms. This is a team that we think can compete for the Super Bowl right now. Let's add in arguably the best player in franchise history, 1 year removed from his 12th sack season with the Cardinals, JJ Watt.
Yeah, that's like. I mean, I think the outcome is not a needed outcome in their eyes. Like
Okay.
we need to get him in here. Because like they said before the draft, they feel confident in putting this team they have on the books out on the field right now as we speak.
Yes.
So bringing in JJ is like bringing in a all-star that's going to confirm you to the Super Bowl, and they don't know that for sure. Of course, every team, every GM, every coach has confidence in the team that they currently have to make it that far. But adding him later on in the season, like you just said earlier in the video, will be a guarantee. It's going to be a guarantee playoff push, guarantee Super Bowl push. That's where we see all these signings from. And the draft, a lot of people didn't want it to go that way, but that's for the future because we have
Mhm.
starters. We have all stars, all pros on our team that are going to get us there without the draft capital we just got. It is a plus, but getting JJ will be the best off season. If we got him before the season started, the best off season ad, just in my opinion, on defense, of course. Yeah, we got Danielle Hunter, but someone up the middle to make Will Anderson's job easier will be the best thing, honestly.
It kind of reminds me of when JJ Watt tore his I think his pec during the season, and it was the year where we ended up playing the Bills in the wild card, and
Yep.
everyone thought that he was going to be out for the season, but no, he came back right before the playoffs, and just the electricity of knowing JJ Watt was going to return for that wild card game. I mean, the city was buzzing, and you can argue that the game does not get going until JJ Watt sacks Josh Allen, which forces the Buffalo Bills into a field goal, and it starts everything for Houston. I mean, I feel like that's the type of situations you could find yourself in by bringing in JJ Watt. And it's not like this is a random guy we're talking about. We're talking about the dude who from 2011 to 2020 was the Houston Texans.
Yeah, and especially when everyone across the United States that follows the NFL knows who JJ Watt is.
Mhm.
It's not just a no-name guy. It's not a 1 year All Pro, not a 1 year Defensive Player of the Year. We're talking about multiple accolades, multiple achievements under his belt.
Mm,
Uh, this guy will erupt the city of Houston. You're gonna have people who didn't believe in the Texans 2 years ago say, "Hell, they're on board." This might this might be the leaks of something that Hannah and Cal said we're all in on.
mm.
Get JJ. We're all in. I think he has a contract written up. I think it's been written up. It's just waiting for the confirmation for him to sign. Um, and have Nick sign off on it as well. It's just we have someone similar to JJ. I'm not saying they're the same player. I'm not saying the Nico Autry's as good as him.
Mm.
But when you have someone up the middle that can get to the ball, um, that just makes it so much better, man. I play defensive line. Getting to the ball, punishing the guards makes the edges job so much easier. And we may see two all pros if that happens. Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson getting sacks, flooding the quarterback out. It's something we need, honestly.
I can't wait to see it. And Kayla, I just want to thank you for hopping on, man, because
Of course.
this is exciting, dude. I mean, what JJ Watt could potentially bring and add to you during the season, not only on the field, but electricity wise, I absolutely love it, dude. Before we go, let the people know, man, where they can find you and your latest work.
Yeah, so on Twitter, Ruben got me into it. Mr. Invisible got me into it. AD got me into it. Um, Down handler, you just typed in the same way Texans Heat. Of course, Texas is the hottest, man. Not the hottest, but we got some temperatures out here, man. It's very
Mm.
hot. So Texas Heat, man, that's just what came to mind.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be back and talk about whatever the hell goes on with this Houston Texans team. Do me a favor, guys. Have a real blessed rest of your day.
Let's
And
get
we
it.
are one day closer